Hello and welcome to your lab for this week. This is Tristan Hall, your instructor for PUAD 305. In this quick video, I just wanted to run through the policy decision simulation. This is a confusing assignment as there are parts and pieces all over the place. Watching this video and responding to this video will get you your full 50 points for the lab. So I'll just give it a shot and we'll get you some points for this, okay? So there's a few different parts. You have portions due this week and you have portions due next week. You have part 1 and part 2. So I know that's confusing. You are in groups for both of these parts. You should see your groups on the week 3 discussion board, group 1 and group 2. There's discussion areas for both. There are initial vote areas. You have to do that early this week. And then there are final vote areas where you go place your final votes after you all meet up or after you all have a discussion. The basics. This is directly from the assignment. In the simulation, you'll be making decisions about, that should say, improving transportation in Franklin Town. And then you will be analyzing and reflecting on the simulation. Some parts of the assignment you will complete on your own, and others will require you to interact with your group. Very basic. Congestion in Franklinton has become unbearable as the trip now from this quaint suburb to the center of the city during rush hour exceeds 60 minutes. Citizens are demanding the city council to take action to reduce the trip time by at least 1/3 or 20 minutes. So here you all are the city council. Your city citizens are demanding that you all take action. So basic stuff here so far. Again, your role, this is what we need to do. Each role, each group needs these following roles. A leader. So this person would be like your council chairperson, your city council president, the person who really has the influence to guide people into making that final decision. So one city council chairperson. The other 4 people are to each decide which district they represent, either being north, south, east, or west. Now let's say there's an option on there to expand into the south side. If you're the council person who represents that south district, you probably would be advocating against that. Or if there's one for the west, maybe there is no option to go into the west, so you're more laid back and you wanted to go to the south because there's no real cost for you there. So just make sure you read over and read that perspective. Also, one person needs to be the recorder, so that means somebody will have to double up and be the recorder as well. What the recorder does is record your actual meet session if you do have one, and then they turn in, there's any communication with me, they have that, but just actually recording the meet session is the biggest part there. Alright, so those are the roles. Again, you can either volunteer for a role, or as a group you can decide which role you're going to choose. In the discussion areas, there is an opportunity to discuss roles, so please try to do this as early in the week as possible. Just because you're the president or just because you're the east or west person, it doesn't mean somebody's role is really greater than someone else's. They all are equal, but the city council leader will have a bigger role in deciding who does what. Okay, so here's what you're actually doing, because I know it's very tough to decipher this. This week I need you to read over the begin policy simulation, but I also want you to read the complete policy simulation in week 4 so that you can see how they build upon one another. This week, get with your group, decide your roles, read through the postings and through the assignment, cast your initial vote, start your discussion with the group about what option to pick or try to meet. I would prefer that you try to meet, but if you cannot do that, then at least start the discussions in the general discussions area. You have to do that at minimum, but you really should try to meet. This week, part 1, so the 125 points, part 1A is individual. You go through and make your individual choice. Part 2 is part 1B is the group process, and 1C is individual reflection. So A is individual, B is group, C is individual again. And B is where you really have to work together. Next week is part 2. So this week is part 1, next week is part 2. 2A is the group assignment. So All of your answers must be the same. This is where you have to come together. It is the same calculations that you did in 1C, but now you must all agree. And then 2B is another kind of reflection portion. So that's what you're actually doing. Part 1 this week, part 2 next week, but read over both of them so you know what's expected.